I mean, if I can say something crazy, a
Please.
little left field for people who aren't in this space, I would say it's pretty normal for anyone who's like dealing in gender conversations regularly. But I think the real problem is that the concept we're being forced to understand, and this is why it's always been fear of the other, fear of homosexuality, fear of, you know, any sort of group that has supremacy fears the moment that everyone who has been oppressed beneath them realizes that it was all fake, it was all made up.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept of heterosexuality as a whole is directly um, in conflict with this conversation about gender spectrum, gender identity, sexual orientation spectrum, because heterosexuality exists in the binary. The definition of someone who is heterosexual is one who identifies as one gender, who is attracted to a person who identifies as the opposite gender. Okay, what does opposite mean on a spectrum? There is no opposite. You know, there are poles, there are places that you can exist on towards either end, but there is no binary opposite if there are infinite identities, right? What is the opposite of one if there are infinite ways to identify? And that's the problem, is like they can't exist in the same conversation. They cancel each other out. And I think that is a big part of the crisis, is where do we fit if this is how we've been told to identify? Who am I if this main thing that has been driving me was always a myth, or isn't really the best way to articulate how I actually feel in terms of my attraction to whomever, you know? And that's, we're reckoning with all of these things right now in the middle of this pandemic. We're being forced to really question, who am I? What does it mean to be a person in this world? And also, what does it mean going forward if I haven't been happy with the way that I've been existing in the world, you know?